You are most definitely a pistachio and cherry cake. Friends, do you know that the crowd always sucks? You do. And I know you like sucking. No, not that sucking. This is a family-friendly show. Like, subscribe. Everybody thinks the 4-year cycle is free money. Yes, they do. They're never going to get it out of their heads. And because they're never going to get it out of their heads, they will make a mistake that unfortunately ends them up in hot water. Luckily for you, I've drawn 2 scenarios that trap them. Let's go. As you see here, friends, I have 2 paths. This is the Bitcoin chart. I have 2 paths here. I don't know which one's going to play out, but I've told you it's possible both play out. Now you think, wait a minute, they're kind of moving up and to the right. So what's the problem here? The problem is that that's a whole freaking year. And then there's a period after the year where you gotta get everybody out and you've got to recover and you've got to scam them again. It's unfortunate. All right. By the way, I don't like doing this. I'm just telling you, hey, it looks like these things are playing out. So you see all these squiggly lines everywhere. And I know when I came into crypto 2018, 2019, I was born in the bear market. I powered up in the bear market. Some might say it's also named as up. So I powered up when everybody was down on their knees, when everybody was spitting and vomiting and nobody could see the light. I was super bullish. I was pooping out in the open like bulls do. Unfortunately, something happened. Something is different now. What's different? This is the funny part, friends. I am more long. I am more exposed. My portfolio is bigger. Yet, I am not as bullish as the same way I was back then. Something has changed. What's changed? The prices are up higher. What's changed? Well, there are clear pieces of information that the market is interpreting as good when I know it's actually bad. The most obvious one, for example, and there's many, is the fact that Roca Negra and their spot ETF has been dangled like a carrot on a stick in front of everybody. They've also had a very long time to buy into it. Also, you have the CBDCs coming in. We know how dirty the US Fed is. We know how dirty JP Mosquito and all the bug eater banks are. There are many other things that they're doing, such as sending the henchmen, the corrupt SEC, the semen demons themselves to come and choke and strangle the crypto industry. I've made many videos about them, okay? So that's why when I show you these scenarios, you get to see that there is context behind them. Yes, they are squiggly lines and they don't have to play out, but there is some context behind them because you just got to be prepared if they actually do occur. The green line, right? So if you see the green line here, the green line is a turbo bull. I hope the turbo bull happens, but I can't guarantee it happens. The turbo bull is where we go up for a year from 2024 to 2025. You can see we go up for a year. So this is 2024. This is 2025. You can see, right? So right here, we go up. Beep, 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 beep. You see that part? So we go up for a year. And then Bitcoin does not hit the $100,000 mark. It falls under it and then it crashes. Why is it a trap? Of course it's a trap. It's because if we went up for the all of 2024, nobody would believe 2025 is a red year because the 4-year cycle is 3 years green, 1 year red. And if we go up and then down in 2025, that would mean only 2 green years, not the third one. All right. And this would also destroy a lot of bears because it would force them all in next year. All right. But if you look under it, there is a red scenario. And actually, the red scenario will be super bullish for us. Why? I'll explain why. The red scenario is a scenario where we go up into this Bitcoin spot ETF, this scam pump, and it actually is a sell the news event for a year. some sort of reckoning happens in the stock market. Maybe the Fed cuts rates, but then they've cut too little, and all the hiking damage finally seeps into the economy, and there are cracks out there. I'm just guessing, just postulating. That's how it could possibly play out, all right? And so these scenarios, they are juicy to look at. By the way, this red scenario as well, if we got this scenario, why would it be super bullish? And the answer is, friends, I can see the future. If you tell me that next year is a bad year, whoa boy, I'll tell you right now, you know all your friends and family who are in crypto? Well, guess what? They are no longer your friends or your family anymore. You've lost them all of them. Yeah, crypto's an official scam. The only thing they could rely on was the 4-year cycle, was the Bitcoin halvening, and you couldn't even give them that. You give them a trash year. That would be disastrous. Now, don't get this confused. If this includes Bitcoin going up to 40 or 50K first, it's just that next year is poopy. That would rinse an enormous amount of people. And then I think 2026, 7, 8, I think we'd have a very, very good run after that, because only the people remaining are those who don't care about the halvening. They don't care about this price thing and these cycles. They don't care. They're just believers in Bitcoin, in altcoins, in every coin. Once again, I don't know which one is going to play out. Okay, I don't know. Remember, every Bitcoin halvening year, there's a minimum 2x. 2012, 2016, 2020. That's right. All of those years, Bitcoin did a minimum 2x. What if 2024, we don't get it? What if it's down? Never happened before. These are the things you have to be prepared for. So when I say be prepared, I don't mean go sell all your bags. What I mean is keep it at the back of your mind that you have a friend here who's been telling you to like, subscribe, bell button, or just keep it in the back of your mind. If we get to this disastrous stage and you see me bull posting, you know to take me a little bit more seriously than a mid-sized brain person, all right? Because this peanut brain, I'm just going to keep drawing up arrows until it finally happens, because it would have been pre-programmed and pre-planned all along. I would also like to remind you, friends, please keep your back straight. Please enjoy chocolate biscuits. You got to be ready for both scenarios. This is the hard part. Most people, squirrels, ducks, pups, and wolves, will follow influencers who have the biggest bull targets. I know they will, because they need them to. They need somebody to tell them, no, these other people, don't listen to them. Their bull targets aren't high enough. Bitcoin 100K, that's just a start. We're flipping gold. Oh, this coin, no, it's not doing a 20x. It's doing a 100x. Then you can take profit. These types of people, unfortunately, God bless their hearts. I know what they're doing. They're optimistic. Unfortunately, in this game of crypto, it's dog eat dog, all right? As we've seen in the past 2 years, having tremendous bull targets in 99.99% of situations, which is basically everything, it gets you nowhere but pain and bankruptcy. So yes, you can cherry pick that one coin, but for every one cherry pick, I can give you 10,000 plus coins where having these targets was bad. You get butchered. You get wrecked. Okay? Don't fall into the trap. And trust me, there will be a trap. There will be so many macro talking heads. Many people who claim that they have fluffy slippers on, but they don't. Ask them, show me a picture of your socks. They'll probably make you wait 3.5 minutes. Why? Because they're pulling them out of the drawer, and then to your surprise and shock, they were never wearing slippers or socks in the first place. This is a chart with the money supply and inflation, CPI. Okay, now the CPI is rigged. I want you to know this. Look on the far right side, friends. Look at this. You can see we are in a deflationary bust. Okay, it's a deflationary bust. Do you want to know the last time we had this deflationary bust? It was Great Depression. All right. Now, I'm not saying Great Depression is not coming, but what I am telling you is because of the lag effects of how these economies twist and turn and everybody does handstands and eats jelly beans, because of the lag effect, once you have a deflationary bust, as it hits hard. And it first hits hard, then they do the response. And then the response takes time to kick in. It doesn't happen like the zombie virus all the time. In fact, the zombie virus is a super special scenario. Most of the times, what happens is the economy starts sinking. And as it starts sinking, it goes down and down. And then guess what? There's a trend of unemployment rate going up. So people start firing people. Unfortunately, they start firing at the very, very end and they fire an enormous amount. But once they start doing that, you have a reverb effect. Houses and everything slows down. And then guess what? All the media, hopefully, they're yelling at the Fed saying, you put the interest rates up, you did all this damage, now you have to reverse it. Now it has to take, unfortunately, then you're going to learn. You know that reversing effect? It's psychological, friends, right? Once people have been betrayed and they feel that the government doesn't have their back and they feel that the government can't do anything for this period of time, you can't get them to feel happy in the next 90 days. You need about a year. That's right. You need literally about a year. So that time delay period, you have to keep it at the back of your mind. Why? Remember what we're talking about? We're talking about this 4-year cycle and things going up because when they print money and they push this up again, we're automatically going to go to these YouTube influencers. They're going to say, wow, they're printing money. Bitcoin's going to get to $200,000. No, not necessarily true. You even know this from 2021. They printed infinite money. If they printed infinite money and they did a plus 39% boost of the money supply, why didn't Bitcoin hit 100K? You should have. Okay, you couldn't even do that. All right, so the government, they will keep printing currency and it will seep into the economy. So don't believe any of these other Keynesian doo-doo heads. It will eventually work. But in crypto, saying it eventually works, I mean, you can go a long way with that because we know how damaging your psychology gets when you're waiting around for 6 months. In 6 months, man, a lot of damage can be done. I mean, look how bad some altcoins have done in the past year. If you are prepared for this, you're going to make it. Also, if you're my friend, you're going to make it. All right. So right now we are on this deflationary leg. And then you have to print money. But remember, when they start printing, there is a delay again. This deflationary bust, it's psychological in the minds of consumers. All right. But this is something they're not going to talk to you about this in crypto mainstream. Why? Because everyone's like, yeah, solving crypto issues, AI, a new fake DeFi, Uniswap DEX, all this other stuff. Okay. But this is the important stuff to remember because if euphoria comes, and if we get one of these poo-poo scenarios, you're going to have to be really prepared. Because in this 4-year scenario, remember, friends, you might have, see this red line, the red part? The red part, this could happen, man, where we go up, but then the US Fed cuts rates. And you're like, wait a minute. I know in the back of my mind, everyone says if they cut rates, the market ends up crashing, but I don't see any bad signs now. And then eventually the market does crash and then people are going to change their mind all over again, sell the lows. So the only way you really truly make it is if you're prepared mentally for these scenarios, right? I am not telling you one way or the other is going to happen. I'm just telling you this is how everybody gets screwed. If you see the path of it playing out where everybody gets screwed, well, you know what to do. You know, if we get a super bull, you know where you're selling. You know, if we get some euphoric Bitcoin ETF bust, takes them off the table because you know how everybody expects it to go to plan might not be what they get in the short run. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Tell mom and dad you do love and appreciate them. Catch you very soon, Jelly Beans.